Welcome back to the CryptoBot channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is running into important support, while Bitcoin just confirmed a new pattern in the short term, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is currently holding above the invalidation level for this larger bullish trend that we've seen since the very beginning of this year. And now I went into more detail about this on the 4-day time frame in my last video, so if you missed my last video, definitely check that out. But basically, the point of invalidation for this bullish trend, according to the super trend indicator on the 4-day time frame, is sitting at around 24.3k, because basically if we see a confirmed break below 24.3k, then in that case this indicator will flip back into the red. And historically speaking, when this indicator flips into the red, we're basically in for a larger bearish trend that usually lasts for at least a few months, sometimes even up to a year, like what we saw back in the 2022 bear market. Now obviously no indicator is 100% accurate all the time, so of course it is possible to have a false signal, for example. But with that being said, if we confirm a break below 24.3k, obviously that will be a strong bearish signal nonetheless. And now if you're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, we can see that right now the Bitcoin bulls out there are defending this area of support, sitting in between 24.3k and 25.3k, because obviously over the last 1 day we have seen a small bounce from this area of support. But with that being said, we are not out of the woods yet. We're still basically testing this support area. So this really is a critical moment for Bitcoin when it comes to the larger trend at play. Because once again, since really the beginning of this year, the larger multi-month long trend has been a bullish trend, forming higher lows and higher highs. And then obviously within this larger bullish trend, we have seen periods of shorter term bearish price action. But if we start to see a confirmed break below this area of support, then once again, as I said in my last video, that would be a strong signal pointing towards a larger trend reversal. But at least for now, considering that has not yet happened, as of right now, I'm still leaning more bullish than bearish in terms of the larger trend on the larger timeframes, as I have been saying since below 20,000. But obviously, when it comes to the shorter term trend, I'm still leaning more bearish than bullish. So essentially, right now, we're basically in a correction within a larger bullish trend until proven otherwise. And now if you're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, these are relatively neutral to bearish, because right now the RSI is slightly trending to the downside, but really not that much. It's mostly chopping around sideways, while the daily Bitcoin MACD is of course showing some bearish momentum. But with that being said, we're still seeing relatively low momentum compared to some of these previous movements. So basically in the shorter term, we're looking neutral to bearish, because obviously we're basically trending bearish in the short term, but we currently do not have a lot of momentum. And now if we were to see a confirmed break below 24.3k, then in that case, the next levels of support that I'll be watching is first of all this Fibonacci level on the logarithmic scale, which is sitting at around 23.8k. And if we see a confirmed break below 23.8k, then in that case we have the 50% retracement level sitting at around 21.9k, and the golden pocket, one of the most important Fibonacci areas, sitting in between around 19.8k to around 20.2k. So once again, those are simply the next areas of support to pay attention to if we actually see a confirmed break below 24.3k, which obviously as of right now has not yet happened. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, what has just confirmed here on the 8-hour Bitcoin chart is a new bullish divergence, because obviously we have confirmed lower lows in the price action in the 8-hour candle closes, while also confirming higher lows in the 8-hour Bitcoin RSI. So once again, that's simply known as a bullish divergence, meaning that we're due to see reduced bearish momentum, at least just in the shorter term. And so basically, even though we are still currently within a shorter term bearish trend, just in the imminent short term, we're basically due to see a bit of a pause from this bearish trend, meaning we're most likely going to experience either a little bit of choppy sideways price action or a slight bullish recovery, kind of like what we saw just here. But remember, this by itself does not necessarily reverse the short-term bearish trend. So as of right now, I'm still leading more bearish than bullish in terms of the trend in the short term. It's just in the imminent short term, as in potentially over the next 1 to 2 days or so, we're due to see a pause from that bearish trend, like what we saw back here or back here, for example. And now if we do end up seeing a bit more of a bounce in the short term back to the upside, then in that case, these resistance levels have not really changed over the last few days. So if you're new to the channel, check out my last few videos to learn about these levels of resistance. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And over the last 1 day, the price of ETH has defended the lower level of this area of support, which is sitting in between around 1650 to 1.7k. And now, obviously, if you watched my last video, I did mention that the price was below 1650. But with that being said, like I also mentioned in that video, we had not yet seen a confirmed break below 1650 because we had not yet seen a daily candle close below 1650. And so due to that fact, we did end up seeing only a candle wick to the downside, and instead the candle close actually confirmed back above 1650. And so at least for now, this area of support is still currently holding for the price of ETH, which means technically speaking, we haven't really invalidated this larger bullish trend that we've seen since the very beginning of this year, forming higher lows and higher highs. But if we do start to see a significant break below 1650, then obviously in that case, we would have seen a larger pullback from high to low than what we saw back here during this bullish trend. And on top of that, any time where we're breaking below previous significant resistance, that is of course bearish price structure playing out if that actually happens, which is a sign of a larger bearish trend. And now one reason as to why we might have seen a bounce here in the imminent short term is due to the fact that the daily Ethereum RSI recently entered into oversold territories for the first time since November 2022, which was a significant low in the price of ETH. And if you're looking at a few other times where the RSI either entered into oversold territories or got close to entering into oversold territories, we also saw this happen back in June 2022 and also March this year, which were both significant lows in the price of ETH. And so once again, as I explained in more detail in my last video on the channel, this is basically a strong signal pointing towards a significant low forming in the price of ETH, because basically when the RSI is either very close to oversold territories or is in oversold territories, that is telling us that we have somewhat limited room to the downside, at least in the shorter term. And this could still be a signal that could hold up in a bearish trend. So even if we do later confirm a trend reversal, this could still potentially be a significant low in the price of ETH before potentially playing out more bearish price action later on. So obviously when this signal is flashing at the same time as the price running into important support, I would not be surprised if we do see either at least a consolidation or a small bounce here, which is obviously good news for the price of ETH because it means that at least for now, the price is defending this support level. And now if we were to actually see a confirmed break below 1650 with at least a daily candle close below 1650, then in that case, some other levels of support to pay attention to are first of all around 1610, so close to 1.6k acting as support. And below that level, we have the golden pocket in this Fibonacci retracement tool on the linear settings sitting in between around 1440 to 1480, acting as significant support. But remember, these are only the support levels to pay attention to if we first see a confirmed break below 1650, which at least as of right now has not yet happened. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart. And obviously, as I've been mentioning since the price was all the way back up here, we do have this symmetrical triangle pattern on the 6-hour time frame, which did confirm a break to the downside below 1820. And so at that point, once we confirm that break to the downsides, that confirmed this technical price target in play, which was sitting at around 1610. 10, and so far the price has gotten within around $10 of this technical price target, so obviously extremely close to basically completing this price target. But with that being said, considering the price is running into important support and also flashing this significant signal on the daily time frame, let's just say if I took this trade, if I took a short position from this break to the downside all the way to this technical price target, I would now be looking towards potentially closing or scaling out that short position, or at the very least moving my stop loss well into profits, because obviously the price has already pretty much completed this pattern because we have gotten extremely close to the technical price targets. And so obviously this has been a very profitable trade so far, and I wouldn't necessarily take excessive risk in order to just get that extra $10 movement. Now, obviously that is not personal financial advice. That's just letting you know what I would do in this situation for my trade, because obviously an important part of trading is risk management. So of course, if you're, for example, moving stop losses into profit, that is a perfect example of risk management, so that if the price reverses unexpectedly, then in that case, that will simply hit the stop loss and exit the trade at a profit if the stop loss is sitting in profits in a liquid market. And now, if you want to know more about trading like that and how to make a lot of easy money even when the price is dumping, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money no matter if the price is bearish, bullish, or chopping around sideways, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit when the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.